Hello, everyone, and welcome to our midweek pickup where we dive a little deeper into our reading from the previous Sunday. Today's theme is nowhere to run, but right into God's arms. So let's talk about something we don't often think about, and that is the self. Who are we really? We live in a world where we define ourselves by our choices, by what we buy, where we live, what we believe. But what if the idea of I, or our sense of self, isn't something we create, but something given to us? Our reading from Psalm 139 gives us this mind-blowing reality that God knew us before we ever even existed. He formed us in our mother's womb. He's been with us every step of the way. And spoiler alert, there's no place we can go where God isn't. And that sounds comforting on one hand. But let's also be honest, it can be a little unsettling. Because maybe for yourselves, have you ever felt like escaping? Or maybe have you ever been embarrassed or made a bad decision or just had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong? See, the psalmist gets it. He realizes that no matter where he runs, whether it be the depths of the sea or the darkest night, God is already there, watching, knowing, and pursuing. And one of the joys for me of being a dad is getting to read to my daughter before bedtime. And our relationship with God reminds me of this children's book called The Runaway Bunny. This little bunny keeps trying to escape, running away from his mom, but the mom is always one step ahead, ready to catch him, ready to love him, and ready to bring him home. And in the end, the bunny gives in. That's us with God. No matter how far we try to run, no matter how much we wrestle with our past or our fears or even our own identity, God is already there. And here's the kicker. The only way to escape God is to run towards God. Because when we do, we don't find judgment, but instead we find God's mercy. We find God's love. We find the one who wrote our story before we even took our first breath. So if you're feeling lost, like you don't quite know who you are or where you belong, remember this. Your name is already written in God's book. Your story has already been seen and held by our Creator, and the best place to be is right in His arms. And hey, if you needed a sign to stop running, this is it. Blessings, friends. Have a great week.